So I'm sitting here with the director of the CIA.
Not
I'm sitting here with a member of the Order of the Phoenix. And can I use your name?
true.
His name is Christian. He is the gentleman that I called that I knew wouldn't be too far away or take too much time to get there. And I said, hey, need some help. I don't know what's going on. And he answered the call. Christian, say hello to YouTube.
Hello, YouTube.
Now we got that out of the way. So just thought we'd sit down because this is kind of a glimpse into what goes through the mind of, I guess I'd call you a first responder in a situation like this. And I think you've had a little bit of experience in situations like this before.
Mm-hmm.
Had you worked EMS before?
Yes.
Okay. So when I called you, what was the first thought through your head?
Holy crap, I gotta go.
Okay. In that moment, do you decide to take time to figure things out, or what do you do in that situation?
No, because when there's a fire, seconds, you hear it all the time, seconds matter, and pretty much a fire or someone that's just died, it's pretty much only when that applies. So I was already had shoes on, was already dressed, so jumped up, grabbed the fire extinguisher out from under my sink and another one out of my truck, another truck, and then drove over to check it out.
Glad you did. So you had on Sperry's, is that correct?
I had boat shoes on, very thin hiking pants, and just a baggy sweatshirt.
So over here in Maryland, Sperry's, they're a big thing. Usually everyone's got them on. But anyway, so you show up to the house. You see it's beyond your control. When you showed up, you just assessing the situation, what did you do first?
So I knew there was something in it when I pulled out of my driveway, made the left to go towards his house. I could see the smoke already through the trees. There was a light gray plume of smoke coming up pretty high, and that's when I knew, there probably is a fire. So pulled up to the house, and the angle I pulled up at, I couldn't see the fire, but I could see all the smoke. And that's when I saw Pam and Thomas and all of them. I don't know if you want me to go on that now.
My mother-in-law, my little boy, yeah, that's cool. You can mention them.
Okay.
They're involved.
Yeah.
At this point. And so your first thought when you get there, you see that, what's your next move?
So I got out of my truck and just ran up to the front door because his mother-in-law, the baby, and the dog were stuck on the front step, essentially.
She did all right.
She did a great
good.
job.
Yeah.
She did a great job. So she just said, hey, help me get the baby and the dog. So I took the dog, and she got the baby. And let's see, I grabbed the dog and ran back to my truck to put him away just to keep him contained so he wasn't running around. And that's when I called 911.
All right. So first, people.
Yep.
People and puppies.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying in that order, but people and puppies. Or maybe I am saying in that order. People, puppies, 911.
Mm-hmm.
Then after you called 911, what did you do next?
So I made sure that Pam was able to get the baby far enough away from the house to where she wasn't in the way if fire came up or something blew up or whatever. So she was parked probably 80 to 100 yards from the house,
Okay.
I'd say. So then I went around the corner, would be on the left side of the house, and I could see the fire blowing out of the eave. So I just threw the fire extinguishers down right there, looked around, saw a ladder, sprinted across the yard, grabbed his ladder, opened it up, threw it up to get on the roof, climbed up on the roof, and I got up closer, and I was looking at it, and I could see the fire was rolling pretty heavy out of there, and the smoke was coming out all through the roof. So I knew I probably wasn't fighting it with a fire extinguisher. So rather than, piss into the wind, I just climbed down and went into, hey, maybe I'll go through the house and see what I can get before it gets too bad.
Okay. You saved the car seat. That was huge.
Yeah. So his mother-in-law, Pam, was like, well, get the car seat. So I went in, and the first thing I did before I went in the house was block open the storm door. So they have the glass storm door with the little latch on the piston, so I opened that up so it wouldn't close on me, and went in, and all the baby stuff was right together. So I grabbed the car seat, the diaper bag, the little diaper box, the changing table, ripped open the front door because I'd open the front door and the fire with all pulling the air would suck it back shut. So I pulled open the front door and I just started throwing stuff into the yard, like violently chucking it out of the house because
He didn't harm the car seat was intact.
Yeah,
You know, he
everything
did
was
good.
fine.
He was gentle,
yep.
violently gentle.
So I threw all that out, did a quick run through just to make sure nothing else, I knew nobody else was in there, but just to make sure nobody else was in there, did a quick run through, and then I took all that stuff to the car to Pam and the baby, and then I went in for another trip to get some more things.
So incredible. I mean, first of all, thank you. I know we can never thank you enough. It's pretty wild. You made a call to me. Do you remember what you said on the call?
I don't.
Okay, so that was probably a hard call for you. I know you probably don't remember, but he told me it's gone. And at that point, my mind just kind of was like, okay, it's gone. What next? Next thing, just get home. That was really it. That was the only thing on my mind, just getting home and making sure that I could be there for whatever I could do, which really wasn't much. And so you couldn't get up into my drive because the fire trucks were there. They were running hoses. You told me to park down by the road. I did, and I started running. I got to you, and you did this like Vulcan, not a death grip, but like a calming maneuver to slow me down. So what's your thought as far as me coming up there? Traumatic experience, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know what's going on. I'm trying to figure things out. What's your take on that? How do you deal with
So
someone?
that was pretty much, there was no law enforcement on scene. They were all down on the main road directing traffic. So usually on fires, the family is pretty emotional, rightfully so. I mean, that's your entire life pretty much. No, a good chunk of it.
Well, my family.
Well, they were out, but yeah, the property. So it was just keeping them out of the way of the firefighters because they've got a job to do, and he's a superhero, but he's not a firefighter, and he didn't have all his gear, and he's not a fire truck, so just kept him out of the way and kind of pushed him back a little bit to where EMS was staged to let the firefighters do their thing, and then just went from there.
Mm-hmm. So you stayed with me the whole time, the entire time I was there. I guess it was a little bit of shock, but what was my attitude that whole time? Was I overly sad? Was I making stupid jokes, like a lot of stupid jokes, to try to cope?
Yeah, it was strangely positive.
Yeah.
I think once you figured out that, hey, no one's in there, no one's dead,
Yeah.
It's just stuff we can rebuild, you were like, hey, all right, we'll rebuild, we'll make it better.
Yeah. So everyone has their own coping mechanism. I guess that's mine, making stupid jokes. But I did have a few laughs, even though a lot of them were really stupid dad jokes, which when you become a dad, you just kind of get them into your repertoire. But in any case, you did amazing.
Thank you.
We can never be more thankful to you than we are. I mean, we probably will be here soon. But you call people heroes sometimes, and we've been friends for a while. He won't let you call him a hero. He stone faces you like that. What do heroes say when people call him a hero?
I'm not a hero.
That's what heroes say.
It was just stuff.
That's what heroes say.
It was just stuff.
So it would have been a lot worse had he not have been there.
Or if you were there.
Or if I was there. We had discussed that last night. We had a long discussion. I'm not known. I'm a pretty stubborn guy. If you know me, you know that well. I don't give up, and it would have been a bad scenario for old Jorge. But thank God you were there, because I don't know what we would have done otherwise. My mother-in-law is great. She would have called 911. But you hit the propane tank. You got that off.
I don't remember doing that.
Well, you did. Even my neighbor said that was one of the first things he came up to do, which thank you, my neighbors. You know who you are. I'm not mentioning your names, but you're awesome. But he saw you shut off the propane tank, which, if you don't know, propane and fire, no go. So,
yeah, I don't remember doing that.
So he did great in doing that. I'm sorry I'm being a little shaky. I'm trying to hold this up with one arm. We don't have a tripod. Kind of lost a few things. But in any case, I hope everyone gets to see like ordinary people, which you're pretty ordinary.
It's a regular dude.
Do extraordinary things.
Yeah.
He's an incredible person, and you can too. You can help people. Christian had a great upbringing, and I mean, even if you don't have a great upbringing, you can become something great to help other people. He lives his life in the service of other people. This just happened to be when I called him, which was pretty cool. And do you have anything else to say to the people? Anything else you want to tell the world?
No, I think you hit it all.
Okay.
Just be good to your neighbors.
Be good to your neighbors. One final note, you have to be honest with this. How awesome was that kitchen I built?
I shed a tear when the first firefighter came up and threw a Halligan bar through his window into the kitchen. And I was like, not the kitchen!
So yeah, that happened. But it is what it is. Christian and his family had been with us while we were doing our kitchen remodel, and we had eaten quite a few meals together, done a lot of takeout together, and now we've been through this together. So thank you.
Yep.
I mean, that's all I can say right now. But hope you guys are enjoying your loved ones and your families. I hope you can give them a hug today, and check your smoke detectors. Any we'll do a little Garantham here. Any dad advice for the people?
No, just look, check your smoke detectors. That's one thing I do remember when I was in the house was his smoke detector going off, telling me to evacuate and call 911.
It was loud. We have it on the Ring video. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he did good. So take care, everyone. You can say bye.
Goodbye.